Hey, I'm Signal. You're probably not going to see any new plugins today, but this is exactly what the title says. I use these pretty much every day. First, we have the Khs Distortion. Listen to this kick. Now listen to the kick. Now listen to it again. Now listen to the mid-range. No mid-range. I'll turn up a lot. I learned how to get boof out of, I don't know, I don't have a better word, like some mid-range out of a weighty low-end kick with a sine curve from Ableton's saturator device. And that lends itself to this really handy workflow where you have this drop down. And that's why I like the drop down, because then I can just go into overdrive and go, that sounds like that. That sounds like that. Interesting. I use forward back a lot. I like the way that sounds. I mean, you know, that's a lot, but come back like this. But this is a nice place to be. Compresses it. So usually throughout the track, I dial this back a little bit, but it's a good way to get some boof out of your kick. I either got this from Julian Earl or Zen World, but I've seen Saru to do this. And then every day I use Melda's tuner because Bitwig doesn't have a tuner. This is free and you get a bunch of other plugins in the pack, but this is the one I grab most often. Same thing with the Khs Distortion. You get a bunch of other plugins, but this is really the one I go to. Okay, number 4 is Span. You can't go without Span. And number 3 is Camel Crusher. So here it is without the processing. See how it's in stereo? I have my span set up so I can see both the left and right channel, and then I change the color of the right channel. I think I learned how to do this from a SEPA Producer Tech class or something from Producer Tech, I'm pretty sure. Let's add the processing from Camel Crusher. I actually have 2 Camel Crushers in there. I keep Camel Crusher because it's a good fuzz. A fuzz is like a distortion, but more. A good example of a fuzz would be like a big muff. It takes your sound and turns it into a brick of sound. The way I think you use this, like not a noob, is by turning the compressor off and then use your own compressor, experiment with compression, throw some OTT on there. I'm pretty sure OTT is on here. Yeah, honorable mention, OTT. So yeah, there's some distortion, there's some compression. I added a filter because we're turning it into a brick of sound, meaning a filter would make it sound better. It's like we start the harmonic process over again. See, no sidechain. Here's where I take away the low end stereo information. This is a preset. I think I might have got this off the internet. Some EQing, another Camel Crusher. This one I really like. So this is the first Camel Crusher, fuzz. And then this British Clean is a preset I use quite often. I'll turn the compressor off. Maybe I'll up the tube a little bit. But that's about it. Like, I'll turn it off. I'll turn it on. It does what it should do. It just brightens it up, adds some drive, adds some heat. I'll turn off OTT. Turn off Camel Crusher. British Clean. If you don't ask too much from Camel Crusher, it can do a lot really well. Okay, number 5 on the list of free plugins I use every day is the Tal Chorus LX. It's a rolling chorus. I like it more than the Arturia chorus. I think it doesn't suck up my sound as much. Like, it's less dominating in the signal chain. Here's what we got without the chorus. I'll add the chorus. And you can see this is one of my presets. turned off the chorus in the preset, turned off the unison, pointy plucky. You can see how I made it if you click the exclamation point, I think by my face, and add the chorus. This one I used more when I was in Ableton, but it's still a wonderful plugin. It's probably the best free reverb, but it's pretty bright. So if your stuff are super present, it might be harsh. So here we go. Here's MCharm verb on top of that synth I just showed you. I drenched it, but we can turn it down if we want. This is a really good mixing reverb. It's not as good for sound design in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't use this on a bass. I wouldn't, like, not at the start of a bass chain or in the middle of a bass chain, just nowhere in there. I would use it on the high end of a bass while I'm mixing down a track though, because it just adds some sparkle. It's in the name, it's the charm verb. Doesn't that sound nice? And there you go. I made this video because I feel like when things get frustrating and you're a beginner, you go and find as many free plugins as you can, hoping one of them will help. But then you have so many free plugins, you don't know what to do with all of them. They all look pretty cool usually, but because they're free, a lot of times they are contextual in their use. I would say that is less true for these plugins and the plugin packs that they are a part of. Thanks for sticking around till the end, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh.